And spawning in the top right-hand corner, of First Line, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. He took down Hero to make it this far in the tournament. Representing himself, currently teamless, it is Classic. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. See in the chat, it's super scary when pros shrug off cheeses as if they were nothing. True, it's one of those things where I should also emphasize this. Fun fact, technically, in ZvZ, with a hatch gas pool, you can defend against anything. Doesn't matter if it's a 13-12, if it's a 12-11, if it's a 12 pool. Technically, with good enough information, with a good enough response and good enough micro, you technically can defend against everything. Some things are more difficult than others, and it is sometimes difficult to pull off that perfect defense. We have seen players fall at times to something like a 12 pool or a 13-12 or even a 12-11, but it's still very, very rare for that to occur. And I mean, that was just crazy defense at a rogue. It's crazy, that'd be crazy. With that, GG well played. Now we can settle into our next series. Is going to be a gate expand here out of Classic. So far, standard opener. Likewise, SHIN going hatch gas pool. We of course did just wrap up SHIN versus Skillus earlier, and SHIN, he didn't really have much deviation when it came to his openers. We saw some aggression in the mid game out of SHIN when it comes to his own kind of Ling Roach Ravager or Ling Hydra Lurker play. We saw quite a bit of shit in the mid game, but we didn't really see much early game aggression here, and so far so good. Just hatch gas pool. What I will say though, speaking of the early game, this is a very fast third base here by SHIN. Because of this, you can see only one queen. The second queen is delayed. This is because of how quickly SHIN decided to take the third. So bold move here by SHIN. This does delay queen production, does mean that he's a little bit more vulnerable early on. Meanwhile, Classic opening up with a robo. We're both crazy. Okay, so SHIN is cutting corners and is being greedy, taking a fast third. Meanwhile, Classic is being aggressive, opening up with a robo. Now this can go into a couple of different ways. If this was like maybe a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, I'd be like, robo opener, this feels like a disruptor drop. Like if you recall, I mean, in the NA region, you have Estrella going for something like Colossus drop openers, which is crazy, going into a Bay into Colossus. Something that's more standard and more common is a Bay into Disruptors, into a Disruptor drop. But otherwise, this could be the beginning of a 2-base all-in, referring to something like a Soul Train, like a Sentry Immortal base all-in. Speaking of Sentry, is denied. Immortals, 2-base all-in. I'm like, this kind of looks like a Soul Train. It's a Soul Train, but let's go. So yeah, it's just straight up 2-base all-in here out of Classic. A crazy move, throwing down extra gateways. So, oh my god, a massive gateway explosion. 5 gate setup, soon to be 6 gateways on 2 bases. 2 bases can afford 6 gates. Immortal production well underway, and he will soon pull the trigger with a purely Sentry Stalker army. Let's go. He's getting up to 7 gates. He's crazy. 7 gates. That's a lot of gateways. Prism's on the way, Immortal's building up, and one way or another, either Classic kills SHIN or he dies trying. Back at home. Classic, is he scouted? No scout, by the way. No scout whatsoever by Classic. No probe scout. He has no idea how greedy or how standard SHIN has opened up. He has no idea what's going on. Likewise, SHIN is in the dark. The Stalker opener does deny the scouts. So SHIN, he's trying to piece together what's going on. The Stalker is very suspect. It's a very suspect way to open, but it is not unheard of to open up Stalker into Stargate. Meanwhile, safety Roach Warren. Safety Roach Warren gets placed. Thankfully for SHIN, he does have Roach production available here to defend. But here comes the all-in. Here comes the all-in. As Classic, he does pull the trigger. He's going for a slow lot all-in. Yo, it's been a couple of years. The last time I saw this was 2022. 2022 PAX Australia, by the way. And Classic did popularize this that year as well. I'm sorry, I say Classic. It was Haas. Haas, he was the player that came up with this build. It's an Immortal slow lot all-in. And you may be thinking, slow lots, does that really work? This early on, I mean, mate, you don't need them to be speedy boys. The army's gonna come to you. And Here we go. The Lings, they do dive in. Double spore. The Queens are going for the Prism. The Prism goes down. Massive pick off. No more Prism. No more reinforcements. And now we can just kite these Zealots. He just has to pull back and buy time here. 22 Lings in production. The Roaches as well. Oh, the Zealots are getting some of the Roaches though. They camp the production. One Queen goes down. Roach is going to be going down as well. The Immortal gets low. The boys are being pulled. Spine Crawler does finish. Almost takes down the Stalker. The Immortal is barely going to survive. And SHIN, has he done it? Has he barely done it? Ling reinforcements, they come in. They take down the Immortal. Immortal goes down, and Classic is running out of steam. He's running out of steam. Does take down a lot of Queens, but barely does not have enough. We have reinforcements on the way. War Prism was rebuilt. No Roaches. The Queen count is low. Low Queen count. No Roaches. Purely Ling. 6 Roaches are on the way. Classic, can he pull this off with the follow-up? Can he still pull this off? Again, that's a lot of slow lots. They're waddling in. Yeah, the waddle is upon us. And it's a very intimidating waddle as well. As they make their way towards the natural. Roaches are going to do what they can. Prism once again notify. Lings are coming from behind. And Classic, he is going to be able to take down at least the Spine Crawler. There's no Transfuse. Another massive warp in. He's done it. Classic, he is going to be able to break through. Takes down all the Roaches. Takes down all the Queens. They get locked down. And it's 2022 all over again, Pappy. Aye, aye, aye. Someone at Chappy. If you know, you know. So they'll say break in towards the natural. And there's almost nothing left. There's almost nothing left. GG gets called, and Classic, he will take the game and take a lead in the series 1-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played, very impressive stuff there at a Classic. If you have never seen an Immortal slow lot all-in before, this I believe started in, I want to say it was 2022, maybe it was 2021. I might be blurring kind of the edges of my mind when it comes to when it was first revealed, but it was first revealed by Haas. Back in EPT, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan. I believe, no, China had its own region. It was Taiwan, Hong Kong. That's it, Taiwan, Hong Kong, EPT. Haas, he did reveal this, and players did latch onto it. Players like Classic latched onto it, and among other players as well. It is a very niche all-in, definitely, but it hits really fast. That's the power of this. I remember, this was active back in the era of Cosmic Sapphire. If you remember when that was in the ladder map pool, Cosmic Sapphire, a couple of years ago. And it hits so damn fast because you're not waiting for any upgrades. You just need gateways. You just need gateways, no gases at the natural, 1 or 2 Immortals. And I'll always remember casting Chappie versus PvZ at PAX Australia. For those who don't know, we did hold a PAX Australia in Melbourne. This was back in again 2020, around 2020. I casted that with Pig. And the first series of the night before, we had gone for Korean fried chicken, and there was a lot of banter going on between the players, between Pez and Chappie. Chappie's the Zerg player, Pez is the Protoss player. There was a lot of banter. Chappie was so confident. He's like, mate, you got me in the first round, mate. It's not even going to be close, mate. What's going on? Like, he was so cocky. And this is what happened. Pez, he slow all in Chappie to death. It was crazy. Good times. Anyway, with that, Classic does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. 2022, 2023. Yeah. That's it. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing himself, leading the series 1-0. One more game is all he needs to make it to the grand finals. It is Classic. And that's how the Chappie diss tracks were born. Yo, I love Chappie, okay? Like, Chappie, we need to protect his smile. Like, Chappie, he's a pure soul. He's innocent at heart. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve to be slow lot all in to death. We love you, Chappie. We love you. Yeah. As we are going to be settling in and embracing our second game. Here we go. So from here, we do have our initial hatch gas pool, standard opener out of SHIN. SHIN forces take the unnatural natural, as Classic was able to delay, able to deny. Meanwhile, back in the main base, Classic going to be likewise going for his own standard opener. Just gate expand into Cybercore. Everything looking normal so far, but clearly Classic is willing to spice it up and cheese it up as well. If you're out there, by the way, yeah, that 7 gates slow lot all in, that's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good to whip out on the ladder every now and then. So it's, yeah. Have fun. Have fun, buddy. Have fun. Never done. I have never done it myself, but I have died to it many a time. Especially back in the day. I haven't played against it in a long time, but yeah, it's disgusting. Sass. I think the last time I played against it was last year. But with that, going to be settling in. SHIN should be looking to expand, take his third base, drone up, saturate, and keep up with the Adept harass. Speaking of, first Adept is going to be moving out across the map, and we'll see what Classic can get done. Ooh, Classic? Wait, he's got some places to be, Pappy. Oh my god, Classic, what's going on? Game 1, River Opener. Game 2, Twilight Council. Now, with this Twilight Council opener, we could go a couple of different ways. This is a Twilight Council before the Natural's even done. This is earlier than we ever expect this to be. This is so fast. I don't really... charge? Are we going for like a charge all in? We're pulling out of gas somewhat here, so it looks like Glaives. Yeah. Okay, 2 and 2. Should be Glaives, but it is gonna hit faster than normal here. Robo now on the way. Yeah, we don't actually have money for it. I was about to say, like, again, this Twilight Council was really fast, and we actually can't do anything with it, so not the most efficient of builds here at a Classic, but that's why, like, I feel uneasy. I feel very uneasy as to what I'm seeing right now, because this is not efficient, but we're getting there. Gateway is being thrown down. Classic about to have some resources here for an upgrade. There it is. Now Glaives are on the way. So because the Twilight Council was so fast, I was like, yo, is this some crazy weird build? It's not, it's just mistimed, but we're getting there. It's fine. It's not the cleanest of executions here, but it's 4-gate blink. 4-gate blink here out of Classic. Adept is going to be caught out. Not bad. The Link Speed kicks in. Nice round. Yeah, very nice round here. SHIN does shut down the Adept. Back at home, droning up, settling in. Lings, they move out across the map, and we'll see how SHIN can piece it all together. Once again, Stalker. Once again, we do have an initial Stalker here that is once again very suspect. We should be seeing a safe response here by SHIN going into his own Roach Warren. We'll see if we can get there. See if we can get there. Here we go. Adepts are moving out. Now, this is not an all-in. I should emphasize this as well. 4-gate Glaives is a macro build. It is designed to cripple. It's designed to cripple the economy of your opponent, and then you expand. Then you take a third base, or you get into a mortar production behind this to get ready for the Roach counterattack, get into a bay for disruptors. There are different variations on how you follow this up, but this is not designed to kill. It can. Don't get me wrong. It can kill, but it's not meant to. As Adepts, they get across the map. Classic poking in between the bases. Lings are amassing. Roach Warren's on the way. A little bit of a later Roach Warren here from SHIN. And SHIN, Classic cancels the shade. He goes for the third. Queen goes down. Massive pickoff. Gets a queen. Busts into the mineral line. Lings are trying to keep up. So far, denied mining here. Add to the third. Oh, and Classic coming in from behind. Back at home, Immortal production has begun. He's getting ready for the Roach counterattack. He's getting ready for the Roaches. Adepts say bust into the main. Drones are going down. Oh, this is getting a bit out of hand. 4 drone kills so far. Things they do get us around. Adepts say don't quite commit to the shade. Oh no, the Prism! Oh my god, Prism goes down. Massive pickoff. The Prism does fall. Adepts, they get the third. Oh my god, the third base goes down. That should not have happened. Lings, they come in for a surround. The Glaive Adepts, they wreak havoc. They are going to be cleaned up eventually. But the trades, the efficiency, Papi. Oh my god, that is going to be 36 links for 10 adepts. The prison did go down, but they killed the third base. That is worth it for Classic. He's racing back home. Speaking of back at home, Classic just trying to buy time. He has 1 immortal, soon to be 2. 2 immortals should be fine. Now from here, Classic can expand. All he has to do is just extend, chill out, establish his expansion, establish his base, his third. And Shin, he's not droning. Shin, he's not droning up. He is making more lings, more roaches. Shin, he knows how far behind he is. He knows that he is dead in the water. What is the only way out of this? Counter all in. It's going to be a counter 2-base all in here out of Shin. Just mass Ling Roach Ravager. Nothing but Ling Roach Ravager here out of Shin. And we'll see if he can pull this off, because he's going to be pushing into force fields. 3 immortals. 3rd immortals on the way. Ay, ay, ay. That's a lot of immortals. Here we go. As so far, it's going to be poking in. 4 more gates on the way. Again, Shin, he has not been droning, he's not been saturating. There we go. Never mind. Shin actually going back into droning. Oh, he's not really, he's not really feeling too confident about this move out. He's squeezing out a couple of drones, but at the same time also squeezing out more lings and roaches. Very middle of the road here for Shin. It's either we commit to the all-in or we drone, and he's trying to do both. He's trying to settle into both. Meanwhile, Classic's been building up. And here we go. Classic is moving out with a terrifying army. He's got 4 immortals. He's got mass sentry. Does force field, locks down the lings. Likewise, Zings, they bust into the 3rd. I mean, Classic does, it's a 2-base all-in. It was 4-gate glaives into a 2-base all-in follow-up here. Classic, he's committed. Again, he's got a mass amount of sentries. Very Soul Train-esque. I mean, they have plenty of force fields to work with. Shin going to try and hold on. He does have some Ravagers to help deal with this. But remember, he was also droning. He was also droning up. Queen's getting called out. Roach is a 2 full as well. The Immortals doing so much in the back line. The force fields are brutal. And the Biles, they're not enough. They're not good enough here. Lings, they flood in, but they're on their own. The Biles, decent dodges. They do graze the army. But the Immortals, they wreak havoc. GG gets called. There's just not enough Zerg here to hold on. And Classic will take the series at 2-0. Advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Yo, we had some very long, very intense round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinal matches. The semifinals, they've been fast. These are some quick semifinals here, both the upper and lower semifinals. With that, we have our finalists. It is gonna be Classic versus Rogue. Classic versus Rogue in those grand finals. Let's go.